some wind. Don't blend the sound. Ba ba da ba 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 put it up ba ba da ba ba. Then you can make up something like that. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. You know, and that can be with the band. It can be really effective without the band. If the band drop out and just give it to y'all. You scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
You can do it without the band. You can give it. The band can give it to you for a small amount of time. Then they can come back in. Just be real obvious. Y'all sound good.
Thank you.
Much better. I got it. Okay, let me put the mask on. Let me hug you. Good. You. So much better. Okay, you know where your work is, right? Them two phrases. That stops when you pass by. Don't think about it. It's a phrase. That stops when you pass by. Own and breathe. Only it calls you home. It's a sentence. Or sad is to know that. Now this is the longest one. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on the street. It's a phrase. It's a phrase. Don't get caught up in the rhythm that you can't. That's what you're doing. Sad is well. But that's still in the book. But see, I told you can do it a couple of ways. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a tree. You can syncopate it. Or sad is to know that no one ever can live on a tree. Depending on where you want to put the phrase. But right now, just say the whole thing. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a tree. I mean, harmonically, you got to be where he's supposed to be. But you ain't got to chop up the phrase. You can smooth it out. And you know what? Practice that other thing I told you. Don't worry about the words. Make it sloppy. La da da dee dee dee. La da dee dee. Bo boo be oh bo be yo. You know, that way you can get the tonalities in there, get the words out, and good. The flow. See you tomorrow. Yes.
Well done. That's great. I heard you guys singing. No, not that way. I was coming from my class. They're partying down there. That's great. That's cool. The door's open. So
Oh, okay.
of course. Yeah. That's good. That's great.
Me, I'd be like, then I get in there and I'd be like, do this.
Yeah.
Stop making moves. You can't sing like modulating. just did a simple version of it. And come to think of it, it's not really totally rhythm changes either, but doesn't matter. You can make it work. Look it up. Look up Betty Carter's version of Jazz Is. Okay, you know how I'm always talking about make notes, people. When I say something, write it down so you don't forget it. Put it in your phone wherever you take notes. Piece of paper. How you doing today?
Very good. How are you?
Oh, girl, I'm making it.
I see you making luggage.
No, I didn't. Y'all clocking my clothes, huh? No, I haven't gotten my luggage, but the airline promises me that I may get it tonight. So pray for me. When I step up in here tomorrow, I might have on an evening gown. No. Okay, so Jazz Is, J-A-Z-Z-I-S. You're going to probably find it by a couple of people, but Betty Carter has a fantastic version. But I like it because I like the story. Jazz is making do with taters and grits. Know what taters and grits are?
Potatoes and something.
Potatoes and grits. I mean, does that sound like you pretty rich? Huh? No.
Is that rich people food? No.
Is it rich people's food? Making do with taters and grits. Getting up each time you get hit. Jazz. Ain't nothing but soul. Oh, 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 oh. Jazz is living high off nickels and dimes. Now, pray y'all don't have to live off nickels and dimes. But if you have to, there's a way to do it. Telling folks about what's on your mind. Jazz ain't nothing but soul. Now, I love these metaphors here. Trumpets, this is what jazz sound like. Trumpets, cussing, saxophones. Rhythms, making love. People wearing fancy clothes. Of course, now this new generation, I got to talk to y'all about that. People wearing fancy clothes is the voice of my people. Okay, and I say that very proudly. It's the voice of my people. For me, jazz is all the truth that's been found. Never mind who's putting it down. Because jazz ain't nothing but soul. I love that song.
That's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead and use the mic to make sure the stream goes through. I'll remind you.
They keep telling me that in the office. Everybody using this microphone, and I got to keep using this. Check one. Oh, shoot. I might sing now. Okay. So, welcome. This is supposed to be new people, right? I don't care. Hello, everybody at home. Turn that camera. No. I don't care if it's A, B, or C, D, E, F, G people. Just welcome. And today we're going to be talking about, who are we here to talk about today? Sarah Vaughn?
No, this is the master class.
Oh, this is just a master class. Oh, okay. So, welcome. When I come into a classroom, sometimes, I have a plan, but I tend to talk too much. Oh, by the way, we have a wonderful pianist with us, accompanist. An accompanist. And I say accompanist because when you're a singer, you need a good piano player, but you really need an accompanist, someone that will accompany you, okay? And who listens to you. Who is, what's that big word we talked about yesterday? Begins with an S. Who will support you. You don't want him to get busy and he all into himself, playing everything he know, and leave you standing up there. But I will say, like I told these last singers, they all into the arrangement and what the band is playing. I'm saying you have a responsibility to those three elements, basic elements of music, which are no matter what, not the lyric, melody, harmony, and rhythm, but that too, no matter what the band is doing, you still have to do that. And you're the only one up there telling a story. Oh, shoot. You want to teach the class today? You remember. You're the only one up there telling a story. That immediately, when a singer begins to do her thing, people automatically gravitate to you. And you know why? And I don't want people who I told the answer to yesterday. Let me hear from some people who wasn't here. Why? Let me hear from an instrumentalist, because sometimes the band gets kind of tizzy about it, because when singers hit the scene, they feel like they're in the background. And that's not true. Why do people gravitate to vocalists?
Well, it's human, right? It's the closest thing to what you are.
We all human on the bandstand.
No, I mean the voice.
Well, yeah, you're getting close. You're getting warm. What are the singers doing that nobody else is doing on the bandstand? Using words. Because that's something people, they don't have to think about. If you play in a B-flat 7 chord, or a raised ninth, or sharp 11. They don't know all that. They just hear something, they like it. But with language, it's automatic. Okay? And so when a songwriter writes a song, he spends a lot of time working on a melody, working on chords to fit the melody. Of all the possible notes that can happen in a song, they're spending their time trying to find the right cluster of chords to color the song the way they want it. Major, minor, whatever, okay? For the feeling. But they have a message. Lyrics. And you have to tell the story. That's my point, okay? That's why I'm here this week. Tell me a story. So you got to pay attention to the lyrics. Read the lyrics away from the song. A man been struggling with sad is to live, to this day, is it? Is that it? Been struggling with that song all week because he's so busy trying to listen to the piano player and the music, he's forgetting that he has a story to tell. So I said, forget the music. Sad is to live in solitude. Tell me the story before you even, know the music too. Far from my tranquil altitude. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a dream. That never will be, never can be. Dreamer, awake. Wake up and see. That's the message. And you can sing it like that. Dreamer, awake, wake up and see. You know, however you going to phrase it. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a dream. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a dream. Sad is to know that no one ever can live on a dream. If you're comfortable singing behind the beat, but you still got to know where the one is. You got to play with this. But you still got to know where it is, because if you sing behind the beat, you got to catch up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's phrasing, but you got to tell the story. That's your job. Okay? And I want to say one more time before I get into this. You're studying jazz, you're learning how to improvise. So it's all right to improvise. There are many ways to improvise. Okay? With rhythm, your phrasing, you can change the melody a little, you can change it a lot, just depends on your style, okay? But you should always learn the original melody. It bothers me when I hear people start improvising off of something that they never learned what the original author wrote. How you don't know what to improvise off of if you don't know the original melody? So you got to learn that first and learn it good. Because if you get out there and get lost trying to improvise, what do you always do? Go back where? Go back home. Isn't that what we do in real life? Get out in the world and boy, you getting ready to set it on fire. Then something happen, you get lost and get in trouble, and you go, Ma, can I come home? Go back home. Okay, and do that in music if you need to. So, I was talking about improvising. So, let me just say that if you are an extremely talented and well-studied musician, singers are musicians. Singers are musicians.
Singers are musicians.
Okay, and I particularly want to hear that from the instrumentalists. Singers are musicians. Come on.
Singers are musicians.
Okay. But we talked about that yesterday, right? The reason why, as soon as doing it, the band is playing, because they know they musicians. I play bass, I play saxophone, and we playing some song that we know in the original key, and we playing that song every night in the same key forever. So now we know we sounding good because we done played that song all year in the same key. Then here come the singer. Then they look, okay, I want to do, and I told you what you need to do. Have yourself, what was the first thing I told you? Give me some of the things I told you to be prepared. Be prepared. So what is one thing you want to do when you, as soon as I'm coming to sit in. All right, when you walk up to the piano player, what do? Don't put the chart up there yet. Don't put the chart, because you might have somebody that know it in your key. Don't come up there and say, here's my music. No. What's the first thing you say? Hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself. Hi, how you doing? My name is... I'm Yolanda. Okay, and what? And then what? And I'd like to sing. Always be polite. Be classy. I told you, class goes everywhere. Class goes everywhere. Anything less does not. You can't take that everywhere. But class, you can take everywhere. And please, look nice when you go on your gigs. I'm not asking you to go get no Christian Dior designer. Get the best thing you got out of your closet. A nice little dress or a nice skirt or pants or whatever, sweater, whatever, and look nice. Because people see you before they hear you. Cut these jeans and sneakers and all that. Stop that when you're going on a gig, because people paying money to see you. People will pay money to come see you. Who gonna pay money for that? Not me. That's the era I come from. Y'all go back and look at all of those, days, 42nd Street with Miles and everybody. Okay, I know those days are not here anymore. But I like the days before because people dressed. You ever seen them pictures of Billy and Sarah and all of them? Even when they were out after the gig, they was sharp. Nice dress, nice pair of slacks, jacket. You don't have to have on a tie. It don't have to be a tuxedo. But it should look nice because you are representing you or the school or whatever, but you're representing this music. And this music deserves that. So stop with all of that. Put on anything and go to the gig. And everybody should, talk about that as a group. What you wearing tonight? Because if everybody else get dressed and one person decide, well, I'm going to just wear what I want to wear and come in with some jeans and an old raggedy jacket, and he's going to stick out. And if it was me, if it was my band and you did that, you won't work with me anymore. Because it's a lot about music, being in the music business that is not in the music book. And it's not on any of them keys on that piano. Professionalism, bandstand etiquette, how to be on the gig and how to respect and treat each other. And support each other. The band is supporting the singer, but you got to support. If you find something getting weak in the band, the bass player or the drummer get lost or something, everybody got to pitch in and support, because it is about a shared experience, a collective sound. singers, don't get out there and think you're so cute or you got it all together and you don't respect the band because you don't sound like anything if the band mess up. If they decide they're going to play something in another key and you standing out there, that's not my key. But it's a love fest. This music is about all of us coming together, putting our differences down, and we're just there to serve the music. It's not about you. It's about serving the music, right? Okay. Before I go on, any more comments, questions? Oh, you know what? I thought it was supposed to be that way. Oh, okay. See, I don't know nothing about technology. I'm sorry. Okay, so, I'm all over the place. Okay, that's the thing about this new generation. I had to be very careful. Okay, so, any comments or questions? This is the time to ask questions. And I told you all, if you had a question, write it down. Because a lot of times, I want to ask her, and then you forget. Yeah. No comments or questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you had vocal technique lessons, or you learned everything by your own?
I've had some formal training, yes, because I've always been in music to some degree, but I wasn't a music major in college. I was a journalism major. I'm supposed to be a writer, but I'm out here doing this because I love it. So yes, I've had some formal training, but I didn't, I've had a private coach here and there, and it's good because I still rely on some of those foundational things, but I have gotten away from them over the years because I'm such a live performer that sometimes if you don't stay on top of the disciplines of your, whatever it is you're doing, it's like playing your horn, practicing. You got to keep practicing because if you stop practicing, you start losing your facility. It's the same thing with singing. But I used to sing all the time, so I used to make up for what I wasn't doing in a lesson on the bandstand, which is okay. Because that kind of keeps your chops together, okay? But it's really not the place to work out everything. So there was a young lady I had a conversation with yesterday about, she was saying something about technique, and I said, I understand, you don't want to sound like an opera singer, but it doesn't matter. People that have great technique have long careers where they sound good for a long time, even when you get older and the voice may change. Some people's voice changes. Somebody heard a recent recording older recording of Carmen, and the voice was, my heart is sad and lonely. Her voice had changed. And Sarah was like that too. But if you go back and listen, that's why you gotta go back, people. Don't just listen to what came out today. You gotta go back and listen to some early Sarah and some early Carmen. Even when I listened to some early recordings of myself, my voice was so much higher and lighter, and the vibrato was, okay? And as I got older, and life happens while you're busy being a singer, those things change, and I made certain adjustments. But I've been lucky that I've never had vocal injuries. Never, ever, ever. In all the years that I've been singing, I'm so glad. Maybe it's because I'm in jazz and now we don't scream and holler. But I don't know how rock people do it. They be, they got polyps, you singing and you see all this vein. You're not supposed to have that. If you're breathing right and you're focusing your air right, and I'm not going to have to give you a voice lesson because your voice teacher is here and she can tell you that, right? Am I right? All of that goes away because you're breathing and you're focusing your air in the right places. But another thing is, when you get ready to do a song, and we just found that out yesterday, you got to find out what key is appropriate for your voice. That's why the voices are cut up. You got first soprano, second soprano, altos, colocatures, all of the people with all of those different ranges. You got to sit down and look at a tune. Look at the lowest point of the tune, look at the highest point of the tune. Sing it like that. If that don't work, move the key till you get in a place where it's comfortable. Don't go too high, don't go too low. Kind of come in the middle, I suggest, because if you want to do something for effect, like sing a low note, you got room. You want to do a modulation, you got room if you want to go up. Change the key. So keep those things in mind. But a lot of this will make sense to you as you work. Sing as much as you can, because the more singing is a sensation. It's a sensation. And the more you sing and the more you are in touch with this instrument, this apparatus, the more you get to know your voice, the more you know what you can do with it. And what you're going to find out is, okay, y'all living, it's kind of cool over here. Don't you find in the summertime that your voice is much more easier to sing in the summertime? And when I go to the Caribbean, I sound fantastic. Why? Because of the humidity. And the vocal cords are like rubber bands. I can do anything. But as soon as I get in a cold climate, I got to start warming up and doing things because everything is constricted. You see people drinking tea and turn off the air conditioner and all that because that cold constricts your vocal cords. So, little things you can do for yourself. Lastly, and then I'm going to try to sing a song for you. This is your instrument, your whole body. You got to take care of that. If you don't have good health, you can't do anything. That goes for the instrumentalist too. You can't play your horn. You can't sing. You got to have good dental health, because what you do with your mouth, including your horn player. Your teeth get messed up. You can't put that. What you going to do when you stick that mouthpiece in there? What you going to hold it with? You need some teeth. Ladies, this is your resonator. Or any guys sitting here singing. When your teeth start missing or things start happening, the air starts escaping, your gums. You start noticing that the way you're used to pronouncing things get different. You might end up with a lisp because something's happening in the mouth, or your air, you can't focus the air the way you used to. All of that stuff is important. Good health. Longevity. You want to be out here doing this a long time, whether you do it as a profession or not. You want good health. So go to the doctor, do all you got to do. And before I sing, one last thing that's important, save some money. Y'all, some of you are young, you're 18, 22 years old. But I don't care if you get a little gig and you make $50, take $10 of it and go put it in the bank, because investment is important. I know you don't live in America, so it ain't that bad. We got to pay for health insurance, and you don't. All we need is one bad health accident over there, and it's wipe you totally out. But you want to have something for the future. You become your own employer when you do this. This is all you do. So you got to manage your money, save money, invest your money. You might get married and have kids, and then some of that money get cut in too, because you got to start buying clothes and shoes and supporting children, paying a house note, or however it work over here. You need to have something in your pocket, in the bank somewhere. And I can't emphasize how important financial security is when you're trying to be a working artist. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. If you got a job, that's okay. I mean, I had one for a while. Singing didn't always pay my bills when I moved to New York. I taught school for about 10 years, and then I subbed when I wasn't traveling because I had to eat. I had to have a roof over my head. That don't change just because you can sing. You need a roof, you need to eat, you need clothes on your back, and you're going to need other things too. Okay, as you get older, things in life going to change. Your real teacher is waiting on you out there. And his and her name is life. All right, so songs come from somewhere. They don't just drop out of the sky. Anybody in here write songs? Oh, fabulous. Write songs, people. Let me tell you what's good about that. When you write songs, especially if they're good songs, and you publish, and that's your intellectual property. Okay? You heard that before? Intellectual property? Good. Then you publish it, and when you record it, you get the money. But if you keep doing other people's music, which is nice because, hey, I write a little bit, but I'm not prolific, I got to pay them. You know, I get ready to put out a record, I got to pay what they call mechanicals. And they have a right to get paid for the use of their material. Okay? So learn to write. I don't care if it's a blues. We should write a blues. I wrote a blues. It's funny. You should hear it. Okay. We're going to do, what did I say? Songs come from somewhere. What makes you pick a song? Somebody tell me. Why do you choose the songs that you do? Okay, one person at a time. Raise your hand.
The story behind it.
The story behind it. Okay.
Like if it's a song, like especially if it has lyrics that I can resonate with, and like a melody or like a harmony that really sits with me. Like
Okay. A story that I can resonate with. I like that reply. Pick stories that you can resonate with. I like that.
Yeah, the mood that you're in now, like your emotions now and your feelings.
Okay, so you might like the emotion that the song emotes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
done.
I like it if I can sing it well also.
Okay. Well, one thing is that you gotta like it. I always say, whatever it is, you gotta like it. Because once you like it, you're gonna embrace it. And it'll become a part of you. So if you can sing it, makes you like it even more, and that goes for the instrumentalist too. You should learn lyrics to a song. Dexter Gordon, and raise your hand if you know who Dexter Gordon was one of many musicians, jazz artists, who loved to know the lyrics to a song because it affected the way he played. It affected the way he phrased. He just wasn't, you know how saxophone players could do. All night long, a flurry of notes. He knew the lyrics, so he was mature. He could play, and he had chops, so he would play in phrases, just like if I was singing. And I love that because that gives space. You know, you don't talk like that whenever we talk to each other. And that's the way you should approach singing a song. There's a period, there's a pause. You know, you wait. You jump in. You might raise the level of the voice. You might whisper. You know, all of that is part of the conversation. Not everything at one level. Practice dynamics. Oh, I can't stand to go hear loud bands. Just loud. That's not music. Practice your dynamics. On the sheet of music is not just the notes and the lyrics, but there's some other little markings. What are those called? Tell me, somebody. Yeah, there's a word. I'm just, it's escaping me now. But you know, it swells, and then the crescendos. All of that's part of the music. Right here, you're supposed to be pianissimo. Right here, you're supposed to swell. Yes.
Do you change how you sing in a mic? Like if you were in a room and it's acoustic, do you change how you sing in a mic?
Yeah, it depends. It's an adjustment every time. You have to play the room, sing the room. So that's what I was saying about loud. I go to hear some bands, and they're loud for the room. You can't hear. You can't enjoy music with just a wall of sound coming at you. Go to a rock concert for that. Okay? Because that's not what that's about. But if I'm trying to sing a pretty ballad or something and I want to be heard, I can't do it with all this noise and the band is louder than me and Or, there's microphone technique, you learn that, okay, over the years. Some things you want to, I don't do it a lot, but if I'm singing and I want a certain presence, I do this. So I like to sound like I'm standing next to myself singing. But depending on who you got on the soundboard, ideally you want to do this. So the mic, you're not eating the mic is not in front of your face. And then for certain things, you want to back up off the mic if you got to hit a note harder or whatever, or you want to do this. You learn how to do that as you work. You can't learn it all in one little master class. I'm just going to tell you what I can tell you. But I can tell you this. You can have a great microphone, but if the man on the soundboard don't know what he's doing, it means nothing. It's almost like just sing without the mic. And by the way, because I told a young lady that too, if you are in a performance and something happened with the microphone, what you going to do? You're just going to say, if you're in a big room, a concert hall maybe, I wouldn't do it then because I was in a concert hall one night and the mic, they had one of these. That's why I don't like these cordless mics sometimes because the battery may go out on you. They check all of that before the performance, but, and all I did was when I realized it wasn't working and I was in the middle of the tune, I put it in the stand, walked to the front of the stage, and kept singing, and the audience roared. Why? Because everybody could hear me? Why? Why do you think they like that? Because I didn't stop. And I had enough confidence, and then, okay, you got to dig a little deep. You don't have a microphone to help. You got to project. So you got to start belting a little bit to get it out if you got it like that. Some people have small voices, and they can just do the best you can with what you got. But that's a real soldier. Just walk to the edge of the stage or whatever, put it down or, wherever you can, and just keep going. In the meantime, somebody will be fixing that, and you can get it on the next tune, but don't stop. All right, so I said songs come from somewhere. So I was doing a gig some time ago. Okay, we talked about verses yesterday, remember? And I sung You've Changed, and I said, when y'all learn songs, learn the verse. The verses are so nice. And but if you can, with your phones, you can look up an author and you can read about his life. And it's good to know where songs come from. And a lot of them come from a lot of those Broadway plays and so forth. Well, here's one that I love. It's a pretty song anyway. But I love the simple story about it because it's about a man. Always for me, it's about the man. And he was in love with this girl. And they were in love with each other, but he was in love with her. But her father, who had a lot of money, he was a magnate of some sort. I don't know what he made his money in, but he was rich. And he didn't want this guy for his daughter. So what'd he do? He sent her away, probably sent her to Europe. I'm going to send you to Europe for the summer or something like that. He sent her away because he was hoping to break the chain of love. Absence makes the heart go yonder, but it didn't happen. That absence made the heart go fonder. And when she came back, they hooked up again and they got married. I love a good love story, don't you? This man's name was Irving Berlin. And his lament, one of the songs that he wrote, which I assume was just a lament to him missing her while she was gone, is this song I'm going to sing for you now. And you can read about that story on the internet. You can look up this song. The name of the song is called What'll I Do? Anybody here ever heard that? What'll I do? W-A-T, what, apostrophe L-L. What'll I do? What'll I do? Okay? So, and it's a waltz, and I love a waltz. Anybody here like a waltz? I love a waltz. And he's going to do a great job, and let's hope that I can do this. And so, my name is Vanessa Rubin. How you do? Y'all watch the TV in Cleveland? How you do? That's Wendy. And not Cleveland, in America. And I'm going to do what'll I do, and I'm going to count it for you. So don't start before I count it. And take a minute, hear it in your head, get your internal body clock together, because I'm standing here going, because I got a phrase, I got to sing the words, not him. So I don't let him count it off too fast or too slow. And here, my foot, that's my metronome, so I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Give me a couple of bars on the top. And always snap your finger, make it obvious. What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? What'll I do? What'll I do with just a photograph to tell my troubles to? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do? We're going to walk the bridge, okay? Because you know I like to swing. What do I do with just a photograph to tell my troubles to? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, yeah, what'll I do? What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? Yeah. What will I do? Let me tell you something else. You know why that song is good for singers? It's got a lot of vowels. Tell me why that's good, somebody.
More easy to control.
You can elongate them, or you can phrase.
Vowels are your friends, singers. What are the vowels? Do y'all do? Am I right? Vowels. Why are they your friends? When you sing on the vowels, you get good sound. And the vowels are A-E-I-O-U, right? Okay. Don't get me started. I just remember that from some of my voice lessons. So, you know what my favorite vowel is? E. Because what does E do for you? See, all of that while you singing, that technique is still back there. Why is E a good vowel? Because of the position. E. I can hold it a long time. I didn't take a good breath, but that's a long time. E is, I love when I get to an E, especially if it's at the end of the tune. Ooh, I like. Why you like ooh? She said, mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh is a great one.
Ooh is it? Why? Why is ooh great?
Well, also it's the same with E, the same story.
Yeah.
So you like closed vowel.
Ooh, it just puts it right here.
It's easier to hold it than
Because it puts it up here.
Yeah.
Anything, so that was that whole thing we mentioned yesterday. When you listen to Sarah, or you listen to, I'm telling you another singer that's not a jazz singer, but don't matter. Fantastic instrument. Barbra Streisand, she know about some vowel modification. Because Barbra Streisand can sing almost like she did 30 years ago. She did this show one time. They were playing all her stuff from My Fair Lady, and she was singing along with the tape, and then they cut the vocal. She was singing with her own vocals, and then she started singing with her old tracks from 20 years ago and sounding fantastic. Why? Because she had good technique, and she knows how to maintain the voice so that the voice lasts over the years. Right? But if you start having injuries and operations and everything, well, you might be able to sing, but you may not have as good a voice. But it's all relative. If you're not singing, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so what else we got under? Any more questions? Any more comments? I just left. Want to try this Jobin piece?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about putting a dress on a new dress on an old song. You know how you try to come up with those arrangements? I got to sit down sometime. My leg hurts. You know. Because a student was talking to me about an arrangement today, and I love arrangements. Okay, but before you can get to arrangements, sometimes you got to learn the song, you got to rehearse the band, you got to agree on, what the chords are going to be, what the cutoffs are going to be, what all the little stuff that make it hip. Okay, but that has to be rehearsed. So I love Jobin. And Corcovado was a song that I used to sing all the time as a young singer, Just give me that. I do it in A flat. Just give me that chord for a minute, because sometimes I have too much going on. Okay, right. So when you ask somebody to do that for you, singer, automatically you know what your first note is, right? That gives you your tonal center. So, I was always, quiet nights of quiet star. Quiet night, da-dee-dee-da. That surrounds us. And then after a couple of years, many years, I got tired of that. And I wanted to do something new. And so I was working with this trio, and sometimes arrangements don't come about because you go home and sit at the piano and kill yourself coming up with something. When you got regular people, sometimes things happen organically, which is the best way. So we started doing Corcovado, and I recorded this song, so you can look it up. My name on the Corcovado on an album I did, a tribute to Carmen McRae. I think it's on that CD. And what happened is the song started getting slower We played it slow one night. I didn't call it at that tempo, but then I said, I'm not going to be afraid to sing slow. Don't be afraid to sing slow, because people are scared to sing ballads too slow. Why?
Because then it's
It
boring.
might be boring.
But it's not boring. That ain't why you're scared.
It might be.
That ain't why you're scared. Tell the truth.
Too exposed.
Too exposed. Ballads, slow songs leave you naked. You have to be comfortable with space. You don't have to be playing in every single bar. Breathe. Phrase. Don't be afraid. Listen to some Carmen McRae. She can sing what we call long meter. That's slow. Long meter. Listen to Shirley Horn. Thursday I'm gonna bring for my masterclass. If you don't have nothing during that time, come, because I got a bag of CDs that I brought from home of people, singers and tunes that you should know, and you should buy the doggone CD and quit listening to everything on these phones, because you need to know who the artist is. You need to know what they look like. You need to see who's in the band. You need to identify who's playing bass, who's playing drums, who's playing guitar, and know who these people are. The lost art of listening. You got a listening library here, right? How many of y'all go to the listening library? Raise your hand. It was me. I would require that you spend X number of hours. Who the hell are you listening to? If you're not listening to any of that, how do you know what to do?
You can listen at home.
But really, how many of y'all listen at home? And I mean, really listen.
Yeah.
Okay, when I say listening, okay, I listen to music at home. I do. But when I'm at home listening to music, I'm on the computer, sometimes in the kitchen. You know, I might be watching the news and I'm listening. I'm talking about isolated listening. Phone is off. TV is off. Brothers and sisters and mamas and daddies and everybody, you in your room and all you doing I used to, because they were still making albums when I was coming up. We sit down, get the album cover, put on the record, boom, and read the album cover while the album is playing, and listen to the piano, listen to the bass player. Sometimes you just keep putting it over and over. Wow. Listen to the drummer, listen to the arrangement. You don't want to ride in the car with me when I got a CD in my car. My car has a CD player. When I'm playing a CD that I really like and I want to absorb it, I'll just keep putting it on repeat. And if it's one song, I play that one doggone song over and over and over. I'm like, man, listen to the bass solo on here. Man, listen to the horn solo on here. I got an album over here in this bag by Carmen McRae. I know so much of that record because I've played it so much. I can sing every horn solo on the record. I mean, I can sing with him because I've listened to it. I've ingrained it in, it's just part of who I am now. That's the way you can be. Because all of y'all got favorite songs, right? And you turn them on and blast it and you be singing with the song. You know that you can sing that song without the record now. That's the way I want you to be about jazz. Go to the listening lab and listen to great artists and emulate. There's nothing wrong with it. You're supposed to. We all do that. We emulate. What do I mean by emulating? Copy. When I fell in love with Sarah Vaught, I tried to sing every song she sung just like she did, note for note. Then I discovered somebody else and I started singing everything they did, note for note, that I listened to. Emulate. And then there's another period you get to, I call assimilation. Me and a great bass player by the name of Curtis Lundy sat and talked about this one night on a cruise ship. First you start out emulating. Then you start assimilating. Now, that's where you start to discover your own voice, right? You start joining the pack. But you can't be nobody but yourself, so you got to let Sarah go, because you ain't never going to be Sarah. You got to let Carmen. You can take a little bit of her with you, put her in the pocket, a little bit of Carmen, put her in the pocket, whoever you listen to. So if you get out there on the trail and you run out of stuff, which you might because you don't know as much as them, you just reach in and get a little her and get a little bit of her and use it until you learn how to do a little bit more on your own. So there's nothing wrong with that. When you're in that period of assimilation, that's when I think you're discovering your own voice. What's the hardest work you will ever do? The work you do on yourself. You're not going to discover your own voice trying to be somebody else. You got to start being who you are. And that ain't always so pretty, because sometimes, you love all the things that's great about yourself. Ooh, I sung that song. Ooh, I sounded good on that song. But then you get somewhere else and you don't do so great and you don't like that. So that's something you got to work on. Young man. Am I right?
Yeah.
See, he been singing Today's Day today, and he was killing it, but it's this one part of the song that was tripping him up. And see, that's so, don't worry about, well, I ain't going to bother about that. I'm just going to sing the song. No, you got to stop, get just that one piece, and go over it, and go over it, and go over it, and go over it, and go over it till it start feeling natural, and then you put that in with the rest of the song, and then you keep doing it until it gets smooth. Not perfect. Life isn't perfect. Music isn't perfect. What is perfect about life is the imperfection of life. And it's guaranteed. Right? Nobody's perfect, but that's what makes life wonderful. The fact that there is no perfect anything. All right? But your job is when you get in the moment and you're singing, you want to make that moment as authentic as possible. And that means you can't be afraid. I used to be that way. I want to tell you that. Anybody have ever been afraid when you did playing? Singing? You be afraid because you don't want people to know what you don't know. Right? Yeah. But you're never going to grow if you don't stop worrying about what other people think and just make some mistakes and learn, and then you make some new mistakes and learn. You just won't make the same mistakes. But at some point, maybe it was age for me. I got too old to care. It was too much going on. I couldn't always get on stage. But that's what people want. They want your authenticity. They want to see your boo-boos. They live vicariously through you. They come to the gig to feel better. They come to hear you play so that when they leave your performance, their life somehow has improved. Their feelings have improved. They connected with you, and they somehow, everything, no matter how small, is better when they leave from seeing you and hearing the band. That's really all I sing for. To improve the human condition. When you think about it, okay? To improve the human condition. Because music is really not about money and all that other stuff. We need it. And the business of music is a whole nother conversation, but we won't talk about that today. But that's important once you really get into doing this for a living. And then you really have to concentrate on the things you need to do to be a professional musician, to be on time, to look right, to do a budget, to buy airline tickets, to book gigs, to negotiate prices, make records, pay mechanicals. Today we're just going to sing a song. So I was telling you about Corcovado. So we was doing this song and we was on tour, and the song just kept getting slower and slower and slower. And then I started liking it. And I'm like, yeah, So then it wasn't a bossa nova anymore. So it turned out like this. Now, the key to this arrangement, because I don't have a bass player, so I'm going to have him compensate, is that the bass line is the driver on the train. Everybody's on the train, the whole band and me. But you got to have the bass player. Why you didn't? Oh, you played bass, but I understand. You're a singer. Yeah, okay. You did good yesterday. The bass player is the driver. He's the one pulling the train. So in this arrangement, you have to listen for the bass line for where the tune is. Well, the other musicians do, not me, because all I want to do is just run around the house. I'm not going to be in the front room when he's in the front room and on the roof. I might be in the basement when he's in the patio. You know what I mean? I just want to float. And that's the fun of it. And sometimes I miss, but that's okay. It's not about missing. It's about what? What's that word? It's not about messing up, or I don't want to use the word mistakes. It's about what? Recovery. It's not messing up. It's how you come out of it. Okay? You're going to get lost. That's what being with jazz is all about. Get lost. Sometimes it's fun to get lost because you discover things when you get lost. But then don't just stay out there and be lost. Come on back where? Come on back home. Sometimes you just got to come on back home and wait till you find your footing. Okay? So here we go. So this tune starts like this. So I know what it sounds like. You should know, if it's your tune, you should know what it sounds like so that you can lead unless you got a music director. So since he's not my regular pianist, I have to give it. So it's like, see all that space in there? And that's really, and I've done it slower than this. So there's a lot of room. My drummer is over here coloring. He got mallets, because I got a lot of room to color on this song. I can set a mood. Bass player, ooh, you know? So use your imagination. Quiet nights. Quiet nights of quiet stars. No, we're not in the right place. Let's go back to A. Quiet nights, that's why I tell people don't follow me. Of quiet star. See, that's why I say the bass player is the driver on the train. Quiet chords from my guitar. Floating on the silence, floating on the silence that surrounds us. Quiet thoughts and quiet dreams quiet walks by, quiet street, and a window looking on. The mountains and the sea. Ooh, ooh, how lovely. This is where I wanna be. This is where I wanna be with you here. Oh, so close to me. Until the final flicker of life's embers. I was lost and now so lonely, believing my life was only a bitter tragic joke I found with you. Oh, my love, oh, my love, oh, my love. And it's a solo, whatever. Like it? It's different. Doing my greatest job, but I'm just giving you the idea. So just leave everybody naked. The bass player, the drummer, you gotta do something. You just can't be back there going, what kind of beat you gonna play on that? You gotta play colors. You gotta be creative. Let's go to the top. Quiet nights of quiet stars. Quiet chords from my guitar, from my guitar. From my guitar, floating on the silence. If your audience don't know what you're singing about right now, just go back to the melody. What's the melody right here? Now I can't think of it. I've been out here so long. Don't be shy. Keep it slow. Don't give them tempo. Don't give them too much tempo. Who was lost and now so lonely, believing my life was only a bitter tragic joke I found with you. Yeah, I found with you. Just play that over. I found with you. I found with you. Don't you know I found with you? I found with you the meaning of my whole existence. It's a turnaround. Don't you know I found with you? By now I got the band going. I found with you. I'm looking at my audience. I found with only you. I found with you the meaning of my whole existence. Yeah, don't you know that I have found with you. Oh, we got to go in now, baby. I found with only you. I found with only you the meaning of my pure, my only, my whole existence. My love, don't you want to be my love? Please, everybody needs, everybody wants, everybody got to have some love. Oh, I found with you. I found with you. And you keep building it. And you got all of the things going on. Ooh, and you about in church now. And you're doing all of that. I found with you. Yeah, what an audience. If you do it right, you take them with you. I found with only you. Oh, don't you know that I found with you the meaning of my whole existence. Now we go into the coda. Oh my love, oh my love, oh my love, oh my love. And then if I feel like going back up again, I go. Sometimes they doing a reggae beat right here. You can imagine it. You let the band sometimes, you got a competent band, just go with them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Learn you some scales, that's why it's good for you to learn some scales. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 I found with you. I found with you. You don't understand why I had to get on a plane and go 24 hours trying to get here to be with you. Yeah. You think you needed me, but I needed you. And that ain't no BS, 'cause I needed you. Oh my love, oh my love, oh my love, oh my love. And now we're gonna do a fade. Now when you do a fade, you don't stop the rhythm. You just get softer. Don't worry about it dragging out, because that's what a fade is. Okay? Everybody just get quiet. Everybody gets quiet. Oh, my love. In the end, it's just me out there. Oh, my love. With no accompaniment. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. My head is still moving, so you should still be playing. Don't cut me off. I'll let you know I'm running this ship here. You might be driving the train, but I'm the conductor. Then when I'm ready, then I look at you, because what I tell y'all, we got to have visual. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. Okay. So, that will come as long as you sing. But you got to sing in order, it's a journey. You know, you got to play in order to get there. sometimes you're on a journey. Don't nobody know where you're going on the journey, but you know if you're kind of on the right path. And then if you find out you're not on the right path, then you might have to change lanes and do something else. Maybe sometimes you may have to pull over, stop, and get yourself together and then get back on the road. Don't stand out there and get run over. You know, we all have to do it. Like I said, life happens while you're busy growing up and working and discovering yourself. Boy, that's a job. That'll be the hardest job you ever have in life. And it'll be a job you ain't never going to retire from. It's just constant until you stop breathing. But that's what's so good about it, you know. And you can always something to know, always something to discover. Okay. And so, yes, it's a job for me, but I find that especially during these days of COVID, and I'm so used to being able to perform because that's where I get my thing off, you know, that I feel shut down. My soul doesn't get fed. You know what I'm saying? And so when yours called and said, you want to come over? And then I thought, oh, I don't know if I have anything that I can tell them. Really? Remember when we was talking last night? I'm like, no, I don't. Then I said, just go and wait and let them give you the teachable moment. And if they don't do nothing but ask you, well, how did you make it this far? That's part of it. Because everything, every masterclass ain't just at the piano. A lot of it is away from the piano. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. All right. The stuff away from the piano, away from the music. Talking about life. Because you could walk away from the gig and go to a messed up something and can't get back to the gig. Right? So you got to have a good, healthy life physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. All of those leads. Okay, we're about at the end, aren't we? Okay, so I'm just going to do a quickie on out of here. Let's do I Love You Madly.
I love you madly.
Yes. I think it's a little intro on there. So this is Billy not Eckstein. This is a Duke Ellington song. And the lyric, Billy Strayhorn and Duke Ellington, and you know they were like really close, like of one mind. They wrote and arranged together. They were incredible. And just to remind everybody, "Lush Life," which you know is Billy Strayhorn's tune, he wrote that song when he was 16 years old. 16. Imagine. The genius. How far ahead of his time he was. So anyway, this is a tune that Duke used to do a lot, maybe at the end of the show or whatever. I never saw Duke Ellington live, but I like the message. 1, 2, and you know what to do. Love you madly, right or wrong, seems like the lyric of a song. And since it's so, I thought you ought to know I love you madly. Better fish are in the sea. Clap for me. Seems like the theory for me. And since it's so, I thought you ought to know I love you madly. If you should see the happy you and me I dream about so proudly. You know the breath of spring that makes me sing my love song so proudly. Good things come to those who wait, so just relax and wait for fate so I can see. Good day you say to me, I love you madly. Love you madly, right or wrong. Seems like the lyric of a song. And since it's so, I thought you ought to know I love you madly. Better fish are in the sea. for me. And that's for sure, just like I said before. I love you madly. If you could see the happy you and me I dream about, yeah, so proudly. You know the breath of spring that makes me sing my love song so proudly. Good things come to those who wait, so just relax and wait for fate, so I can see the day you say to me, I love you, we're doing the ending. I love you, I love you. Love you madly. Give them a round of applause. All right. Any final questions or comments before you go out the door? Nothing? Okay, good. Thank you so much for your time.
Give her a hand.